What's going on, everybody? Sean Pierce Johnson here with this week's episode of Stompbox Saturday, and on the Stompin' Block today, we have the 30 milliseconds double tracker from Keeley Electronics. Now, double tracking has always been kind of a trick of the recording studio, either doing it live by recording one guitar track and then recording another one, or, as innovated by the engineers of Abbey Road, creating a device that would allow you to cut that recording time in half and automatically double track something you've already recorded. Well, that's essentially what the 30 milliseconds is doing. So let's check it out. 4 knobs and a 3-way toggle on the face of the pedal. Knobs for level, time, tuning, and reverb. This reverb is really sweet. It's kind of a recreation of the Abbey Road echo chamber, which sounds really sweet. We'll get into that in a little bit. And there's also 3 different modes that you can choose from in the terms of getting that automatic double tracking effect. You have Abbey mode, of course, getting the automatic double tracking famously used at Abbey Road Studios. Dimension, which gives you 2 different voices that you can detune slightly, and then slapback, which turns this into the perfect slapback chicken pickin' echo kind of thing, which is really cool. So not only that, you have a bunch of different options for routing. Like another pedal that we've taken a look at from Keeley, this one also comes with a TRS to dual mono breakout cable. So with a couple of flicks of internal dip switches, you can get yourself the 30 milliseconds Pro for some wet, dry, and other routing effects that you can use pretty much this pedal on guitar, voice, bass, you name it. It's really up to your imagination. So, using the guitar, let's check out some of the sounds that we can conjure up with the 30 milliseconds. Now, with the time knob, that's going to be what allows you to select how delayed that second voice is. It goes from, well, nothing to 30 milliseconds. It's a very short delay time range, but it's that short range that really allows you to get the double tracking effect. So I'm going to go ahead, turn the level knob up all the way so you can really hear how much time we're dealing with here. Strum a chord and turn the time knob, just so you can really hear it. So as you can hear, it's really not that extreme. It's a very subtle effect. So the key to finding the sound that you want to use is going to be really finding the time setting that you like and then using the level to dial in how much of the effect that you want. So what I like to do is just what I've done. Turn up the level knob up all the way and then sweep that time knob. Now, one of the things that I could really see using the double tracking effect for would be to give certain riffs an extra added punch, if you will. So I'm going to turn over to some distortion, get me a little bit more gain out of this. I want something heavy, and try to see what I can come up with. Okay, I found something I like. Now I'm going to dial back the level to find the sweet spot. Pedal off. Pedal on. So, it's gotten pretty subtle. Let's play a riff and then we'll see how that sounds without the pedal and then with it on. heavy rock, the subtle settings are going to be your best friend. But hey, if you wanted more extreme settings, you're more than welcome to do so. Now, in the Abbey mode, the tuning is going to add a little bit of modulation into the signal, so it can get pretty hairy. Let's try adding a little bit of that for some subtle motion. When you switch over to the dimension mode on the 30 milliseconds, you have the ability to adjust the detune of the two voices in addition to your original signal. You can adjust them 30 cents sharp or flat. So let's check that out. I'm going to use some more of the reverb here and use a clean sound. I think dimension sounds best on a clean sound. So I have the level straight up at noon, fair amount of reverb for something just really beautiful sounding. Alright, so now we're going to turn the time knob up and you can hear what that sounds like. Alright, now we have a pretty neutral delay time. Not too, well, short in the sense of we're only dealing with 30 milliseconds long, we're only dealing with 30 milliseconds, but you get the idea. Middle of the road, nothing too extreme, nothing too subtle. Now let's turn the tuning up, and we can hear how that affects the two voices that are going with our original guitar sound. So as you can hear, it can get pretty squirrely after a while. Now, again, this is a thing of interactive usage of the knobs. You're going to have to find the time setting that works best for you. That'll dictate where you're probably going to set your tuning. Or maybe you're just one of those people that likes to turn everything up to 10 and breathe deeply and see how it affects you. But hey, that's the beauty of these things. We can find anything we want and works best for us. So let's do just that. I'm going to go with that same arpeggiated pattern, do a few strums, and see what I like best. Notice as I turn up the time that the modulation and the detuning between those voices gets a little less squirrely. Well, there you have it, everybody. There is your look at the 30 milliseconds double tracker from Keeley Electronics. It's one of those pedals that you're going to have to spend some time with to really find what works for you. And that's exactly the reason why I wanted to get one. There's a lot of sounds that I feel like I could use with this pedal, and I could get into, and not just for a guitar, actually, we're gonna throw this on my singer's pedal board in a few rehearsals from now and see what she can get out of it, because that's something I would really like to hear. It's very adventurous despite its simplicity, and I can't wait to experiment more. Sure, maybe it's not something that everybody can get into, but I'm into it. And I hope you're into it too. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Shoot me a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned for next week's Stompbox Saturday. And until then, I'm Sean Pierce Johnson, and I wish you great tone and happy stomping. Cheers, everybody.